Cool. Okay. Hey, everybody. It's me, Jonathan Millard, the voice of the Vale, back with another Big Hype podcast, brought to you with our great friends at Hype Energy Drinks, Bravos boxing gloves to protect yourself at all times whilst we're in Bravos, and combat tickets available for boxes, promotions, etc. And of course, our preferred charity choice, Boxers in Need. Please get involved. But joining me now from his home in, I want to say Essex, but I'm probably really wrong with that.
Nah, Woolwich.
Woolwich, there you go. That's not even anywhere near Essex. Woolwich. Mr. Kye Trott.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Good to have you on, mate. Yeah. No, thank you for coming on. It's been a long time coming. We've been trying to get this going for the last couple of weeks. So I'm really grateful that you jumped on before the big fight night, at the end of the month, beginning of the month, next month, not far away at all. But we'll come to that in a minute. The first thing I'm going to ask you is the same question I've asked everyone who's come on the podcast so far, which is, how and why did you get involved in boxing?
All right. I'm going to try and shorten the story so it's not.
Take your time. You've got all the time in the world.
All right. So years and years ago, there's like one story that connects into another story that goes into another story. So I created a football team years ago called the People's FC, and I created that team because I found a family friend take his own life, and I'd found him in a local park where I'd grown up with two of my friends, and I suffered from really bad PTSD after I couldn't do normal things. Like, one thing that was really weird about it was, like, I couldn't go into busy restaurants because when I walked out of that park, there was so many people. There was people videoing and talking, and I don't know if that was a connection why I didn't like going into busy places. If I went out with my friends, I'd never be the first person to open a door. So I just got really bad PTSD from that, and then, like, watching films and stuff, if there was a similar incident in a film, I'd break down. And after probably about, I can't remember how long it was, probably I think about around a year's time after the incident, I said, you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm going to kind of battle against it. And I decided to do a charity game to raise money for his two children, his name Michael. And the day went really well, raised loads of money. And then me and my friend was like, you know what, we might actually be onto something here. Created a football team. Called ourselves the People's FC. Was only going to do like one charity game a month to raise money for charity. And one of my best mates growing up, called Cole, he scored our first ever goal. And then People's FC, we done loads across the thing and whatever. But then I think it's got to be 5 years now. Yeah, about 5 years ago, maybe 4. Carl took his own life, and obviously he was the first person to ever score a People's FC goal. And I always remember a video of Carl that he had when he done a white collar boxing London event. And I said, I done the People's FC for Michael. I do like running and stuff for Michael as well, and my thing was to raise money for Mind. I've done boxing matches for Mind and Calm in memory of Carl. And I did I had one fight, and then I was like, oh, like, this is all right. Won my first one, won my second, won my third. And I just, every time I was like, I'll just do one more. I'll just do one more.
Yeah.
And then 10 fights later, we're still here.
Okay. So yeah, there's a lot in that. And for people listening that might not understand, it is a very traumatic event. Those situations where you find, and again, like you're saying there, with the public side of it as well, there's a lot of interest, a lot of people talking. I got similar experience myself with my best friend who took his life, but not in the sort of same public areas. But yeah, people talk, and you're right. It's hard to move step forward. So People's FC came about. So you're a bit of a footballer anyway, weren't you? Before anyway.
Always.
Yeah. Did you get far in the profession in football?
No, to be honest with you, I always played football since I was young. I was always training, always playing. played in, like, I don't know if you know what Skeffel is. It's like the lowest level of semi-pro football in the area. I
Okay.
was playing that when I was 16. Got into a football academy. Had a cup final in my football academy, and they said, like, there was a scout there,
Mhm.
and he promised me this, that, blah blah blah. Fell
Mm.
through. After that, I didn't play football, and the first game I played back was that charity game,
Yeah. But
that one charity game.
but you kept active. I mean, you're an active person as well. You said there a bit about running as well, and you've done several marathons. I kind of did see how many there were. I want to say around 20 something.
I've done full 4 marathons and 33 half marathons.
That's that in itself is impressive. I've not done one, so although I think I've walked and I think I walk enough marathons while I'm in the ring, but
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, back and forth. But yeah, so the football thing, the running thing, and then obviously the boxing thing. I noticed. I mean, you can see on your Instagram, Philip Two's the fight nights. I've done one or two of those actually a few
Yeah,
times, and I know they're really good shows. They're really well organised, and the camps are fantastic as well with the opportunities that they give you as well. Fighting in the Troxy in London,
yeah,
again, lovely venue, bit of an iconic venue for boxing as well.
yeah. One of my
Particularly
favourite.
those in the scene. It's got a good crowd atmosphere, even though it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy in the backstage area, but you get there. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then we moved on to DFC. And was that the natural step? Was that the first step, or was there something in between that I can't see?
There was one other fight that I'd done. So I'd done all them charity ones, and
Mm,
then I was speaking to someone from a show called Future of Boxing,
okay.
which is another really
Yeah.
good show. And the funny thing is, as well, I kind of know all of. So obviously Phil knows all the SE Don sort of boys.
Yeah.
I've known a lot of them. I kind of grew up with a lot of them because they all go in my gym. And I won my fight on that show. I won in the first round. Was it first? Yeah, first round, and I won my first belt. And the guy that I fought had, I believe he fought Kurt Hill. I think might have been Kurt Hill or someone on DFC, and he gave him a really good run for his money. And they said, "Oh, Phil messaged me. I mean, the guy you beat in the first round
Yeah.
struggled against one of our sort of better fighters." And he said, "Do you want to fight on the next show?" And I was like, so I just had, I think, two fights in a row, and I was a bit like, all right, I'm gonna have a bit of a break now.
Yeah.
And then Phil messaged me, and it was in like about just over a month's time, so something like 33 days away or something like that. And I was like, oh, like, I'll do it. It's a big sort of opportunity to get on a big platform. And then he went, yeah, we want you to fight Scott Riley.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think you was there for the two. Was you there for both the Scott
Yeah,
Riley fights? You was, weren't you?
I've only missed one. One I think of one, and I wasn't there for the very first one, but that was years and years ago. So more
Yeah,
recently, yeah, I think there's only one I've missed.
yeah. So I was at obviously we had the first Scott Riley and the second Scott Riley, but the
Yeah,
first one, he said to me. So I'd had a few days off. I was eating bad. I was already fighting at a quite heavy weight for my size anyway. I was fighting at, I can't remember off the top of my head. It was something like 88 kilograms. I was
okay.
fighting at. I went up to about 92 because I was like eating, drinking, partying and stuff. And then Flips went to me, yeah, the fight's going to be 83. I was like, all right, cool. I, I didn't even do any boxing. I've done barely any boxing leading up to that fight. All I did was just skipping and running, just trying to get the weight down.
Yeah.
And then I went into the fight at bang on 83 on the day. And then yeah, that was my first DFC show, and the rest is going well.
It certainly is. I mean, you seem to be on you seem to be very popular,
Mm.
not just with the fans, but also in the back room as well. I mean, in the locker room as well. A lot of people speak very highly of you.
Yeah,
And say your work ethic when you're in the ring, is second to none. You're willing to put yourself out there and you work hard, and outside of the ring as well. This has been noted to me, and this has been mentioned that you're a bit of an entrepreneur. I mean, I think that sort of illustrated from the works that you've done from I know for charity, but still there's a lot of work and effort goes into promoting those things, and you kind of take a little step a little bit further than perhaps just selling tickets. You're out there doing other things like t-shirts,
Yeah,
and
one
raising
there.
money for charity alongside. There you go. You're wearing one there. And raising money for charity alongside, obviously, the ticket sales.
Yeah,
Is that something that you naturally feel is, your sort of, sort of strength as well?
yeah. I think I've always so I since I've started the People's FC, it's always been a thing of like I've always said in a kind of selfish way, I want to raise people, I want to help people who need help because
Mm.
maybe one day I'll need help in that sort of way. And it's always stemmed from things like that the girl that we was raising money for by selling these t-shirts. My mum met her in the gym that I go to.
Mm.
Um, we helped her raise, so she needed £50,000 for an operation to basically enable her to possibly walk in the future.
Mm.
And if she didn't have this surgery by a certain date, they would
Yeah.
basically be like, well, we can't do it because she would have. I think it was the way that she was growing, like the way that she was growing. You then need to have the operation before you start growing as a child because complicated stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we raised, I believe, say there was £6,000 that we needed to raise. We helped raise sort of the last 4,000, and then someone else
Oh,
done another charity event in Shooters Hill and raised the last two. So it's all it's weird in my life of everything I've done for charity. They've all sort of like for example, Carl. We do a tournament every year for Carl, like my friend Carl that passed
yeah.
away. Him being the club's first ever goal scorer. And then with Rosie, my mum actually said, "Oh, like, can you help raise some money for this girl?" And I said, "I don't think I've got time to do it because of all other charity events." And now
Mm.
we do that every year. It's always like a weird sign or something has happened for everything I do money for. It's crazy how
Yeah.
it all works.
Are you a man of faith? Would you say?
Yeah, yeah. I'm always been Christian. Yeah,
And that stems from mum and family, and that you
uh,
feel that inside you. Is that fair to say?
yeah. So my mum and dad have always. They're not like a strict religious sort of family, but I kind of found God when I went through like a really bad mental health thing. So
Mm.
I was in a relationship for a long time that she nearly uh like passed away in a car accident. We broke up. Then my nan passed away, Cole passed away, one of my sponsors passed away. My mum wasn't very well, and um there were so many other things. All these things sort of just happened at the same time within
Yeah.
2 months. And I become very religious at 2 points. So then, and when my granddad had died a few years ago before. So both of them times has made me a bit more religious each time. I'm not like ridiculously strict, but I am definitely a man of faith.
No, but you find in the community that you're associating with, in the same ethos, which again is the caring, happy to help situation, and that is, that prevalent from obviously that sort of angle as well. So fantastic. I mean, this is fantastic that you're still raising money and you're still doing money. We have got a show coming up on December the 7th, down in Maidstone in the Ballers nightclub. I forget what it's called sometimes. I've been there that many times. I probably
Yeah.
should know. And you're going to be you're going to be in the ring again. I did catch the name and I've completely and utterly forgotten it off the top of my head. But you'll tell me who you're up against.
Marcus Stevenson.
The journeyman, the great, well-known, experienced, very
Yeah,
experienced boxer, underrated in a lot of cases. I know I call him a journeyman, but he is underrated. He's actually a very good boxer,
he is.
and he brings a lot to the table. How's the camp going? How's things going for the fight?
Yeah, it's always very difficult to get into a boxing camp after a loss. I've discovered that obviously once you get a big win, the Scott Riley win when I beat the fellow where I like put him out the ring and stuff, they were two big
Mhm.
important fights to me. So going off a high, I've had three really big boxing matches that, ended very well, even though one of them was a loss, the first Scott Riley win. It was you're always motivated to have a better training camp when you win. When
Mhm.
it should be when you lose, you train more. And I do think I always give myself a date. You say, all right, cool. As example, you start on the 15th until this date. That's when your training camp starts. I did
Mhm.
that this time, and yeah, it's got better as it's gone on. As I've like, had a good run or had a good training session, it's got better. But it is I'm only this is probably the first that my last fight was the first time I'd ever been dropped in my life in boxing in a normal fight, and
Yeah.
it was very hard to kind of motivate myself to go like you've got to train harder now. Do you know what I mean? And now I have been,
Mhm.
so hopefully it'll all be worth it come December.
You turn it into the fuel and you make the fire.
Yep, yep, exactly that.
That's cracking. That's cracking. So it's going well. We're running up. We're running up now of days. We're what 2 weeks away.
Hmm.
2 weeks away or three?
But
Two, 3,
it's got to
something
be
like
about
that.
just over two.
Yeah, just over two. So we're not far. We're not far away from it. And everything. How's ticket sales going? Are they going well? Are they? Are people still able to get tickets from you if they wanted them?
Yeah, yeah. Ticket sales are. One thing I will say is, I every single fight I've had untold amount of support. Even when I was doing the ones for charity,
Mm.
I was selling 50, 60, 70 tickets. Uh, all the shows on DFC I've done, I think the lowest I've done is 35. And what's getting really good is I have the same sort of crowd. So it'd be a good 15 people have been to all my fights on DFC. Win or
Yeah.
lose, they're completely there. This one's a bit hard because it's Christmas, so they might be a bit like people a bit struggling for money and things like that. But I'm getting a good kind of like I don't know, I call them Kye's faithful that are there. No matter where it is in the country, they are there. Luckily enough, they've all been at boarding, so everyone knows how to get there. But
Yeah.
I'm getting a good sort of faithful people that are there no matter what. Don't I haven't got to say, "Are you coming?" I just go, "Oh, I've got tickets now," and they're like, "Yeah, sweet, I'm there."
That's great. Yeah, I love the fact you've given them a name as well. Carl's
Yeah,
Faithful. It's kind of like I forget. My mind's gone completely blank. But I'm kind of thinking like towards more like the wrestling kind of thing. If you're a particular fan of that,
yeah,
you're a
yeah.
particular thing. Same in football. If you're an Arsenal fan, you're a Gunner. If you're a Spurs fan, then you don't win anything.
I
So
like that you said that because I'm
I'm a
Arsenal, so that
Spurs.
was good.
So I'm a Spurs fan, so like I'm quite used to the fact of not winning any
Oh,
silverware.
we've got an hour.
Hey, look, it's proof. This conversation's proof that we can get along.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see
No,
now. We'll see.
in fairness, it's only football at the end of the day. I'm gonna
We've got an
get a
hour.
shot for that. I'm gonna get
We've
a
got an
shot for
hour
that.
for till the North London derby, haven't we, as well?
We're not far out from it. It's yeah, I know. I had Jimmy on me last night going, "Oh, yeah, you feel about tomorrow?" I was going, "Oh yeah, I forgot we're on that for tomorrow." It's like it's just for us. Spurs. It's just like, well, yeah, we kind of just yeah.
No,
It's
I
very
get you. I get
Spursy.
you.
We're very
Very Spursy.
Spursy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's us. But anyway, a little collective group of us. But I'm a Welshman. How this is the crazy thing. The Welshman that supports a London-based team. So
Honestly, the amount of people I know that support other teams and that anyway. I know
I
people that live in London that support Liverpool, so it's like,
know.
do you know what
And
I
I'm
mean?
not even. It's not even like I'm from there. It is what it is. Um, let's go back to the boxing. Obviously, boxing is at the moment we're doing really well. Happy with everything you're going for. Is there a bit of a passion to perhaps see how far you could take it in regards to a different avenue, perhaps, or happy in the vein that you are with it all now?
I've decided what I'm going to be doing next year, so I've got a big year coming up. Changing jobs, going to have a lot more free time. I say that I've got two kids in the way, so I don't know how much free time we have, but
No.
I am looking to start doing my first sort of amateur. I'm going to jump into the amateurs next year. Learn a whole new style of boxing, not just go in and swing at times, and clean up my game. I'm going to be doing the amateurs and still doing the DFC shows. So I'm gonna. I have said recently I've got a plan of maybe going to making it as a professional boxer. I know I'm absolutely levels away from being a professional boxer at the moment, but
Hmm.
I've given myself a period of 2 years. So I'll be 28 in March, and I'm aiming to have my first professional contest by the time I am 30. And if I don't, then don't know. I might take up netball or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Like, we'll hold you that. If you don't have a pro fight, you gotta have a netball. You gotta have a netball game when you're doing 30. We'll do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna keep that in mind. That's a great plan that you've got there set out. I mean, I couldn't think back of a couple of other guests who have been on the podcast as well. Toby Vermier is the one that pops into my mind straight away. He was a beast boxer, 20 odd stone, but he's cut the weight down and he became a professional boxer. And he's had several fights now. He's also appeared on Boxer as well, as part of that process as well. So he's been on Sky Sports with his boxing as well. So it's certainly possible and certainly doable. And I think you're the type of person that would, once you set your mind on something, that's you're gonna push forward with that. And that's really interesting that you decided to go into the amateurs first. Is there a reason you've had this discussion perhaps with others and they feel try the amateurs first and see how you get on rather than just going straight for the pro license?
I personally, what it is, I've trained at a boxing gym that my old football manager, when I was about 9 to 15, he used to run my team. He now runs this boxing gym. And
Okay.
there is absolute levels to the game when it comes to some of these amateur boys. And I've sparred a lot of these boys, and I've been honestly, I've been into that boxing gym before, and I've been sparring people, and I've had some absolute wars in that gym. And I remember there was one time I was sparring a kid my sort of weight, but a bit taller, and we had a war to a point where we both sort of looked at each other and nodded as if to say, "Do you know what, mate? Fair play." And then when
Yeah.
I got out of the ring, I was chatting to one of the coaches that I know, and I went, "He's strong. Like he is strong." And he went, "Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good for 16, isn't he?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" So I was like, "There's just absolute levels to the game," and I do think if I want to go pro, why not go into every sort of category I can to improve myself?
And yeah, I mean, I say fair enough. We've had plenty of ones on the podcast who've done the amateur route, turn pro. They certainly find it the jump sometimes can be, it's like night and day or chalk and cheese. There's a big jump between the two, from 2 minute rounds to 3-minute rounds. Your 3-2s. You've got to learn to pace yourself. You've got to learn to control yourself. Like you say there, if you've already learned the basics, the fundamentals of boxing, the amateurs, it is slightly different. And, that's great that you decided to go and start there and have a look at what is going on there. So this is so by 30, cause how old are you at the moment then, Guy? I have no idea.
27.
Oh, so it's only a couple of years now. It's 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years plan to get where we are. If obviously when if you turn over pro and hopefully everything goes your way where would you like to see yourself in sort of at 35 or even earlier than that? Where would you like to see yourself?
Honestly, I would love to say, yeah, go out and get a world title. I would love to do that, but we will see where that goes. If I go out there and I don't know, I go and do a few shows abroad. Someone asked me to go fighting, I don't know, Malta. It's all experience. It's all things I can
Yeah.
sort of tell my kids that I've done when they're older, and just go and. I see the thing with me. I've always had a thing of pushing my mind to the limit. That's why I've run the marathons. That's why
Mm.
I've done the boxing. That's why I train in the gym. That's why I go for new PBs in running and stuff. And it's just that I think there's certain people in this world who have things that keep them ticking, and my
Mm.
thing is pushing my mind to the limits. And I think that's what the aim is with going to boxing. If I go out and go, all right, cool, let's try and make it as a pro. Let's go and do it. And
Yeah.
if I make it pro and I have, I don't know, 5 pro fights and I can't do it anymore because of age, because of time, then I know I push my limits. If I go out there and do a Fabio Wardley and become this whatever weight I'm fighting at, middleweight, whatever, then I
Yeah.
can go and do it. I can go and do it.
I
It's just
mean,
whatever's there.
you've mentioned Wardley there. I mean, he's certainly came all this way. He's done exactly not exactly similar route to yourself, going through the white collar sort of side of it.
Mm.
Obviously doing a little bit of amateur, then going into the pro games, and now look at it, world champion. It's
Yeah.
certainly not unachievable. It's certainly achievable, and that's the thing, taking it forward. Is there a? I know you said I'd love to say it, but is there a belt that you'd like to sort of say, that's the one that's going to sit on the mantelpiece over the fireplace, and we will all look at that and we will all remember exactly what I've done? Which one would that be if that was the belt that you could put up there?
At the moment, DFC's belt. At the moment, that's the one. And once
I
we
like
get
it.
that, we'll go, say we got one belt, we would then upgrade to the next belt, to the next belt. But at the moment, that's what my eyes set on at the moment. And then once we get that one, we'll then push further for more.
Perfect. We have a closing tradition on my podcast, which is a either or rapid fire final round. So,
Okay,
Kye Trott,
cool.
are you ready for your final round?
I don't know. I've got a bit nervous then. All right, yeah, go on.
Let's go.
Go on.
Southpaw or orthodox?
Orthodox.
Body shots or headshots?
Body shots.
Train alone or with a partner?
Oh, alone all day.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Heavy bag, speed bag?
Heavy bag.
Boxing gym or outside amongst the trees?
Outside.
Short, powerful punches or long and technical?
Short and powerful.
Fight dirty, fight clean?
Fight clean.
Loud crowds or the quiet atmospheres?
Loud.
Quick knockout or strategic win?
Quick knockout. Don't get paid any extra.
Fair point. Hypothetical question. This looks a little bit more likely as of this recording, but Turkey might bring this together. AJ or Fury?
Fury.
I'm not going to ask you to explain it. I think most people kind of feel what they feel, but we might see after Logan Paul's effort, and we'll see whether AJ shows us anything, as that's been announced recently as well. So, good stuff. How do people get involved? How do they follow your journey? How do they get get involved if they wanted to get tickets, etc., for December 7th?
Either follow my Instagram, which is Jim Guy Kye, so Jim Guy and Kye KYE, or follow my football club on every bit of social media there is, the People's FC. We're everywhere. We're on YouTube. Do you know what? Don't even just follow the People's FC. Don't even bother following me, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I love it. We'll have a big crowd then on December 7th for you, I'm sure, down there in Maidstone. It's going to be a great night. Loads of other great fights on there as well, so check out DFC if you haven't already. And we look forward to seeing you then. But Kye, thanks very much for coming on the Big Hype podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's been finding more about you, and it's been great to hear your backstory as well. So and your future ambitions, and we wish you every best of luck on December 7th and beyond. And I'll see you then.
Thank you. See you then.
Again.
See you later.
Take care.
Thank you.